We're on our way to Bisbee this weekend, but we're doing a quick stop here to explore Tombstone. Before stopping at Tombstone Historic District, we stopped off at the Boot Hill Graveyard. The Boot Hill Graveyard, a famous Wild West cemetery. This burial ground was used from 1879 to 1884, when the new cemetery was built west of Allen Street. There was quite a few unknown headstones, and it was interesting to see how the headstones would say how the person died. Stinging lizard, shot by Sarah Key Hall. Marshal Fred White, shot by Curly Bill. Here lies Lester Moore, 4 slugs from an A44, no less, no more. Kansas Kid, killed by stampede. Miss Ah Lum, China Mary, born in China, died in Tombstone. 2 Chinese. Here lies George Johnson. Hung by mistake in 1882, he was right, we was wrong, but we strung him up and now he's gone. Eva Water, age 3 months, she died of scarlet fever and was the first person buried there. We did the good enough trolley tour to get a little history lesson on Tombstone. This was the old courthouse. Replica gallows were constructed in the courtyard to mark the spot where 7 men were hanged for their crimes. The OK Corral, where Hollywood tells us the infamous gunfight between lawmen Virgil Wyatt and Morgan Earp and their close friend Doc Holliday and the Cowboys Billy Claiborne, brothers Ike and Billy Clanton, and brothers Tom and Frank Lowry. About 30 shots were fired in 30 seconds. During their battle, 3 men were killed, 3 wounded, and 2 ran away. The shootout actually took place in the narrow lot on Fremont Street, 6 doors west of the OK Corral's rear entrance. Morgan Earp was murdered while playing pool at the Campbell and Hatches Saloon on March 18, 1882. Yeah, a couple days ago from today. And Morgan Earp is the Earp that is buried at the Colton Cemetery. I forgot the name of the cemetery. I'm gonna walk over to that grate from our trolley tour. He said that's an old mine shaft, 1,500 feet down, I think he said. He said you could stand over it, throw a pebble down, and you can hear it hit the sides, but not the bottom. Yeah, there's a freaking hole down there, right? Shut up. I knew you were gonna say that. I didn't hear anything. You can't hear nothing. We have arrived at our Airbnb in Bisbee. Tomorrow we'll explore the town. For tonight, we're just gonna make dinner and rest. So we'll pick this up again tomorrow. Actually, one more thing before we end the video for today, the tour of the Airbnb. So right from the entrance, we walk right into the kitchen/dining area and a galley style kitchen. Storage room with washer and dryer. Living room. And the bedroom. And the bathroom. This morning we're heading over to the Queen Mine for our tour. Afterwards we'll ride down to Low to explore there, and then we'll head back into Bisbee and ride around here and explore. The Copper Queen Mine operated from 1877 to 1975. After Phelps Dodge ended the mining operations in 1975, the Queen Mine opened once again as tours for visitors in 1976. The tour is guided by retired miners. First mine I've been into where we have to wear a hard hat.
There for 2 reasons, so that you can adjust to the darkness, and also before we go any further, I will ask you if you feel comfortable going further into the mine.
The tour focuses on the operations of the early 20th century mining. I would advise to book your tickets in advance because when we checked in at 9:45 in the morning, they were already sold out for the day.
The area we're in is way after the 1900s down here. By then they had shafts going around all over the mine right there, and as you can see, this is a transfer shaft. Normal shafts are done by a raised miner and are at least 15 by 15 foot.
After the mine tour, we headed to the Lavender Pit. This open pit mine is named the Lavender Pit in honor of Harrison M. Lavender in 1890 through 1952, who was the vice president and general manager of Phelps Dodge Corporation, concerned and carried out the plans for making the unprofitable low-grade copper-bearing rock of the area into commercial copper-producing ore. Next, we rode over to Erie Street, Low's historic ghost town, where we stepped back into the 1950s. From Low, we headed back into Bisbee. The discovery of ore in the Mule Mountains in 1877 began what was to become one of the world's largest copper-producing centers. By 1905, over 20 development companies were exploring the district, and the population swelled to the largest in the state. Immigrants from all parts of Europe and Americas came to work in the mines and discover a new life. Mining came to a halt in 1975, bringing artists, craftsmen, and other new arrivals along with the longtime residents, establishing a unique, vibrant community. We spent the rest of the day riding through the narrow, hilly streets of Bisbee and admiring the architecture of the Victorian-style houses, colonial, mission, and Spanish Revival, Italianate, and Art Deco buildings. This is Castle Rock. I climbed up Castle Rock to get a 360 view of the town. And then from there we rode to Highway 80 so we could ride through the Mule Pass Tunnel, which is the entrance to Bisbee from the north. We ended the day on Tombstone Canyon, which is the main street in Old Bisbee. We're back at the Airbnb now, so that's going to be our time here in Bisbee until the next one.